Hey everyone, my name is Echo. Today in this video, I want to share with you the latest changes with shaders. The developers have made some improvements over the past couple of weeks, and I want to show you what they did. For those of you playing on an Android device that is using a Mali GPU, the developers did release this fix a couple of weeks ago. It's not perfect, but Mali GPU users should see an improvement when using shaders. One more thing before we get into this, it is also important to understand that these are still very early stages of development for Minecraft Bedrock Edition shaders. So there is bugs, glitches, and issues. Hopefully, they get fixed soon. For those of you that would like to use the shaders packs that I'm using in today's video, you have to be on the version 1.20.50.21 or higher. So yes, you do need to be in beta or preview. You are going to have to enable the experimental settings. The first thing you're going to have to do is make sure you enable the specific resource pack. We're going to be using two alternative ones in today's video. We have the warm shaders, and we also have the latest update for Poggy's Luminous Dreams. This needs to be enabled. You do need a pack in order to use this. Then head down to your experimental settings and make sure at the bottom the Render Dragon feature for creators is enabled. If this isn't turned on, then it's not going to work for you. If there's something that you don't like in the Poggy's Luminous Dreams shaders, there is alternative settings, by the way. I am using the recommended one, which is the default experience, but you can have reflective ores, or you could have no PBR blocks, but glowing mobs. PBR blocks are basically when they look a little bit bumpy, or you can have the alternative way, no glowing mobs, but PBR blocks. We have glowing mobs, but no glowing ores, no glowing mobs, but glowing ores, or no emissive, reflective, and PBR blocks. Feel free to mess around with it and see what you like. Talking about bugs with shaders, there is a current issue with signs not displaying text. Let's hit this button. So, they changed the bloom toggle in the deferred graphics video settings to an intensity slider. The player can now configure bloom intensity to their liking. Bloom can still be disabled by setting the slider to 0. Now, this is kind of also the same as well in terms of like brightness. It says high emissive values greater than 0.25 no longer obscure surface details in the deferred technical preview. Now, there is still a slight issue with some of these blocks. And what that basically means is it's that bright that you really don't even know what block this is. Well, just for reference, it's the pearlescent frog light. So there is still a couple of issues, but they did fix a lot of blocks. Boy, you're being nosy today, huh? Here is an example of bloom working. You can see that the ores are now emitting some kind of light. You can see which one is gold, which one is diamond, which one is lapis. One that I have been struggling with is the iron, and it might just be because I'm colorblind. But as I get a little bit closer to this, you'll see that the brightness kind of dims. And I love this. This is how it is on Minecraft Java Edition. But there is a slight issue. If I go back to F1 and we go back and forth, you can see it's kind of flickering. But when I stop in certain places, it works. Again, bugs will happen. Now, one of the new changes here, and I'm going to just do it like this. If we go into settings, and also for those of you that have downloaded the shaders in the description, make sure you enable the deferred technical preview. It's not going to work with simple or fancy. This needs to be enabled. We have other graphics options. Click on that. They introduced bloom 100%. Now, by default, it's 100%. However, if we drop it down to 50, yes, if we just back out here, you can see it's a lot less bright. And if we do it again, go into settings, go to video, go all the way down to the bottom, and we turn this off. Bloom is off. 100%. Doesn't matter if I hit F1 where it's bugged out, you can see it is completely off. So players who might not like bright ores can actually disable this. And I want to show you a couple of different ways on how the bloom works. Also, Skulk looks like a disco room, and it looks so good. Another example of bloom being 100% is the likes of your redstone components. Because right in this corner, you can see as we get closer, this red light kind of dims away. And we also kind of have the same with the redstone torch itself. And it just looks so impressive. it just makes life so much easier. And yeah, I know that's really bright over there. I will explain that in today's video. But again, this is just a redstone comparator. And as the pack does continue to get updated, things like this you will start to notice. Honestly, I love this. And I cannot wait for the underground to be fixed with shaders, because going to a deep dark is going to feel so awesome. Now, this is something that is possible already with RTX, and I have experienced it with Kelly's RTX and other creators, but check that out. As you get closer, it starts to fade away. That way, you're not going to be flashed banged when you're standing inside of here. Honestly, shaders is just at the beginning for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. But yes, it's good to see that Bloom is now seeing some improvements. And this is the same for many different skulk blocks. It also works for this. I actually haven't messed around with the catalyst here, so we'll see. Yeah, it also works for the catalyst as well. As we stand away, it does. And again, something else I've noticed as well is the skulk veins. And you can see it there. So yeah, the skulk so far, one of my favorite blocks with shaders. Moving on to some other changes. It said fixed an issue where certain light-emitting blocks, for example, sea lanterns, glowstone, magma, etc., could not be turned into point lights in the deferred technical preview. So the last shaders update video that I showed you, there were so many things that just did not work. Things like lanterns, they did not work. Glowstone, that did not work, and I think the glowstone still needs a little bit of work in my opinion. I know for a fact that the redstone block itself didn't work, but you can see they are now very, very bright. And to be honest, these are some of the brightest blocks in Minecraft. And one of my favorite ones, I'm just going to break these here, has to be the magma. They did a really, really good job with this. And shout out to Poggy who made this possible, because as you'll see, blocks over there have a really bright outline. And so do they, kinda. But as for the magma blocks themselves, they're really faint, which to me is the perfect amount for a magma block. Still not fixed in the latest versions is the frog light blocks. You can see that this one is incredibly bright on every single angle. The verdant frog light is completely broken. The ochre frog light is working around the sides, but the top is not working. Lava itself, the bloom is way too high and still not been fixed. Now, other blocks that I have not messed around with, which we are going to check, is the likes of your jack-o'-lantern. I mean, I think this was working last time, but again, still incredibly bright. We have the beacon, also seems quite bright, but again, it's a very bright block. The likes of your brewing stand, the likes of this with this inside, doesn't seem to let off anything at all. Shroom lights, that's been fixed. That's very similar to the glowstone, which was previously broken, and things like this. So if we grab ourselves an enchantment table, for example, just trying to see what's been fixed and what hasn't. Yes, that also looks so much better. One of the changes outlined is that they improved the quality of light sources over large distances. Now, obviously, I showed you the ores and things like skulk and these blocks, but let's just go up. Look at that in the distance. It's kind of like a cheat code. I can use this to find ores, because what you can see bright over here is, in fact, ores. So let's just go all the way up here to start off with and just see what block this is. So this one right here is an iron block. If we go down a little bit further, I think these are also good. That's copper. Aha, okay. And as you go further and further, it's definitely a cheat code here. What do we got here? We've got a little bit more copper. Just trying to tell the color differences here. This one's also going to be the same as what we already have. But if we go to / game mode spectator, for example, check that out. Yeah, so if that isn't the cheat code, I don't know what is. Well, you can see. Wait, let's go and see what that is. Is that lapis? I think it's got to be lapis and diamond down here, right? / game mode. Let's go to creative. It's got to be diamond, right? Yes. Deep slate diamond ores. Go to this one, you can see that that's the lapis ore. Wow, yeah. I never really noticed how OP that could be. Also, again, the lava. I mean, when I hit F1, it kind of looks okay when you're a little bit closer to it, but over a distance, I still think that needs a little bit of work. And if we go to spectator, you can see the disco party going on over here. Welcome to the disco room. Yeah, I'm excited to use this in vanilla, and I really love the so-called pulsating effect. With this fog effect, there are 7 different biomes that you can experience this. One of them being a jungle. Now, it can get quite creepy at nighttime, but basically it just offers like an ambience effect. The colors can slightly change. If we do / weather and we set it to rain, for example, it can also get quite moody as well, and your visibility will start to reduce. I just really like this pack because of what it offers to the Minecraft player. Like, check that out. Honestly, it looks so impressive. This is what it looks like when you're inside of a mangrove swamp. And as you start to peek out, you can see the brightness starting to make visibility a lot easier. And then you've got the jungle one over there as well. Here is the fog effect working inside of a desert biome, but go and experience it for yourself. This is just early doors for shaders on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. If you guys enjoyed today's video and you want to see some more future videos like this, all you gotta do is hit that like button. Both of the downloads are in the description, and have a wonderful day. Hey, you can now book me on Cameo. Link is down below.